C also. It will compile, it will work, everything will fine. The beauty is, very unfortunate thing is, C does not have any data type called character. C does not have any data type called character. C has only one data type. So two data types. One data type is called integer, other data type called float. C does not have a data type called character. This char does not mean, just because of I am calling it the CHAR, it does not mean it's a character data type. It is actually an integer. Even though Dennis Ritchie has written a word CHAR, it means integer only. So everything will work. The answer is
minus 125. Minus 125.
I'm asking
minus 1
percentage C. I put percentage D. Percentage D means it depends only a decimal.
Minus
just not even asking.
Minus 125.
Beauty. Another thing is minus
125.
minus 125. Very close. Very close. Yes, the closest answer I've ever got for this question. I never got such a closest answer. We'll do one thing. We'll do another day. See how we have a thing. I have done a good amount of research on C also. So we will have one day, because the thing is very clear. As a ECE today, everybody have to be even night 12 o'clock when you wake up and see that you should not supposed to have even a 0.001% doubt on C. C has two portions. One is called language, one is called programming. Programming is a skill. It comes to you maybe about, how many people say that learn programming in? Learn programming in? 10 years. Normally people, as per industry, we know that to become a good in programming, it takes about average 10 years. Somebody takes huge money in the colleges because they start learning programming when they are in the 9th or 10th. So 2 years in 9th and 10th and 2 years on the plus 2 and then 4 years in the college, 8 years they learn programming. That's why they are being paid about 70 lakhs or 1 crore packages. You see those background, they learn it. So programming takes very long time, so always. But whereas language, you can exactly, to be frank, within about 3 hours. We have another session one day and everything. Within 3 hours you can master C language. There's nothing in C language. That is a set of rules designed by Dennis Ritchie. That's all. There's nothing great. There is nothing great about language. It is a set of rules. If you understand the rules, you will do very well. For example, if I write another program, you see that integer a comma b. A is equal to 5. B is equal to not of A into B. You cannot give an answer. I tell you, you cannot give it. I write a 4-line program, you cannot give me a right answer. Don't mistake me. I am not trying to underestimate you. This is how we have not understood the language correctly. Because you cannot predict. You cannot predict C. Because the answer is minus 6. How it come? You don't know. Only Dennis Ritchie knows how you get a 6 answer minus 6. I can explain. I can explain to you how you get minus 6. Like that we have n number of problems we can discuss. But before that we need to do something. So that's why I'm just getting into the thing. So let us start from even though vacuum tube is electronics, today we don't use. So today there's only one component, electronic component used in the industry. There's only one component. And then this component can be either switch or regulator. Since even though we know that electronics is part of electrical, they thought they want to give a different name. So they gave a different name for switch. What do you call it? They gave a different name for switch. I don't call switch. In electronics we don't call switch. We call it as a gate. Gate is the other name of switch. So when I use transistor as a switch, I call it as a gate. When I use transistor as a regulator, I call it as a amplifier. Amplifier is nothing but a regulator. It is nothing but a variable resistor. Then this is called analog electronics. Sorry, digital. This is called. So now we are going further. Okay. All these things are all the transistor is defined as a base current versus electric current. IC is equal to beta into. This is the one formula everybody knows. This is what, if you want to tell me what is transistor, IC is equal to beta into, that's all, that's a transistor. We discuss about FET and everything like that, FET, MOSFET, everything like that. Right now we will take this. Now, I put a small, this is one of the first and the most important circuit of electronics. What is V0? What is V0? So expected time, what is solving the problem? As usual, 10 seconds. You need to practice. You need to get into the method of solving this problem in 10 seconds. How much? This is the electronic circuit for all the ECE students. Learn on the first day of electronics. This is a must. This is a first electronic circuit. This is a first electronic circuit. What is the answer? Very simple. I have one information. I forgot to give you one information. Beta is equal to 10 IB, and this is IC. What is IB? Because this transistor can be modeled like this: a variable resistor and a diode. This is what exactly the transistor. So any diode is giving a silicon diode is having threshold voltage of 0.7. Now I am applying how much? 0.5. Here is only voltage 0.7. So the voltage across the resistor is 4.3. Divided by how much? 10K. So IB is equal to 0.43 milliampere. 0.43 milliampere. Then IC is equal to beta into 10 into 4, so 4.3 milliampere. So the drop here, VC is equal to IC into RC. So 2K into 4.3. VC is equal to 4.3 into 2K. Is equal to 8 point. So the drop here is 8%. Voltage across the resistor is 8.6. So V0 is equal to VCC minus VC is equal to 10 minus 8.6 equal to 1.4. Don't underestimate this. This is the most important circuit every EC students must know. This is one place which is going to differentiate you and the other computer science to every engineer. See, when anybody can get into the computer industry, how come, what is the exact difference for computer science to get advantage? Because they learned algorithm during the course. That is going to help you. Same way for ECE students, even though anybody can become an embedded engineer today, whoever knows programming can become an electronic engineer. But the only thing, what they don't learn in the college is this. How exactly this works. This is a must. This is a must for every electronic student. But how do I calculate the V0? It's like giving this value. This is a fundamentally simple circuit. This is the first required simple circuit. Simple transistor circuit is this. You have studied a lot of things called Class A amplifier, Class B amplifier, Class C amplifier, and voltage regulators, and oscillators, bistable, multi-stable, everything. But nothing is important today. But still we apply in the industry is this. This is the one which is going to be helpful to you more in the industry. How it is, we will see. When we mix these things, we will see it. Now, if we make this one to 3K, what is the thing? Is it 3K? What is it? Then we get confused because it becomes 3 into thing is 3 into 4.3 4.3, so you get about how much? 3 into 4.3 is 13 point, sorry.
12.9.
So you get 12.9 volt. So the voltage across is 12.10 minus 12. You get about how much? Minus 2.9. So see, this is 0 volt. This is 10 volt. So I told you this is a voltage regulator. This is 10 volt. This is 0 volt. This is a variable resistor. The resistor can vary from 0 ohm to infinity ohm. In that case, the worst case can go up to 0 ohm. When it goes to 0 ohm, means it is short. That means what is the voltage here? When it is short, what is the voltage there? 0 volt. That's all. So it cannot go below 0 volt. That means that when it goes beyond 0 volt, we call that as a saturation. This transistor has got a saturation mode. When the transistor goes to saturation mode, transistor has three modes. One is called saturation, active and cutoff. So when you call this transistor in saturation mode, that's interesting. When you will call this transistor in saturation mode? That means that very simple. This transistor is, you did some calculation. IC is equal to beta into, this is theory, but actually the current here, when it's on saturation, transistor is going to be short. That means the IC is equal to 10 volts divided by RC. This is called IC max. So that's the thing. I'm trying to avoid these things, but the problem is at least very, very small these things. If you don't get in, then you have a problem. The problem is only 3 multiplications you have to solve. I would say this is the last. The most toughest thing in any electronics you're going to learn is only this. The most toughest. We are at the peak. Afterwards, everything is going to be simple. We slowly grew from VIR and P is equal to IR and P is equal to VI, and we slowly grew here, and then we are going to, it's going to be, as today's electronics, you need not know anything about this. It's all very easy. But we are in the peak now. This trying to digest. That is, I told you once again, this is a voltage divider. Now the thing is that when saturation mode, this gauge is going to be short. That time we get here 0 volt. How do you know that my transistor is saturation or not? How do I calculate this? I calculate IC max. IC max is equal to VCC by RC, because this is going to be short. I calculated IC is equal to beta into IB. My calculation and this, or the, you want to compare. If IC max is less than this IC, it means that this gear is going to saturate, because it cannot go beyond maximum current. So in this case, let us see this case. I have how much? 4.3. Here also I got 4.3 milliampere. But what is the saturation? 10 volts divided by 3.3. So IC max is equal to 3.3. So IC, if the IC max, so you need to calculate only two values, IC and IC max. If IC max is less than IC, then the transistor gone into the saturation. It cannot go. So something is not possible, because already I calculate maximum current, then how can I flow more than that current? That's what it is. See, to be frank, it's like this. I have a big tank, I have a small water tube, I have a big tube. I don't mind how big this guy. Okay, this guy is going to be controlled by this small tube. If I make the tube very small, then the water flow will be very, very slow. I cannot do anything. So that's the problem here. So the water flow is not controlled by this guy. The water flow is controlled by the resistor. That's called maximum. So this guy can take maximum only this much. If suppose this guy is also smaller, then this is controlled by this guy to get together control. That's fine. But in this particular case, this is short. That means that he is allowing any amount of current. But this guy is the one who is controlling. So the rule is like this: if IC max is less than IC, then saturation. Same way, if IB is equal to 0, sorry, less than 0.7, then it's called cutoff. Because the reason is, when IB is less than 0.7, because I have a diode. If you apply less than 0.7 here, then the diode is going to be reverse bias. There is no current, it's called cutoff. Cutoff means the switch is off. Now tell me the thing. I have a resistor, I have a switch. I apply 5 voltage. This is 1K. What is the voltage here? V0 is how much? What is V0? But I have a switch here. Switch is off. Switch is off. What is V0? Wrong answer. What is V0? I will not go beyond voltage even. The maximum we are going to discuss is only about voltage. Here also I am dividing. I am applying 5 volt. What is the voltage across this? V1. What is across here? V2. What is V1 and V2? V2 is nothing but V0.
It's having 5 volts, sir. No drop. No current flow, so no drop. So essentially entire 5.
What is V0? What is V2?
5 volts.
V1 is infinity to 0.
So
V1 is
R2 is infinity. R1 is 1K. R2 is infinity. What is I? We know that V2 is equal to I into I is how much? 0. How much is R2? How much? So once again, mathematically we are wrong. 0 into infinity is not. So we have been told during the 5th standard to 4th standard multiplication, 0 into anything is 0. But that time you are not taught infinity. We have been told only about anything with number. But later, when we came to know about infinity, that time the teacher did not revise the syllabus back and told us 0 into infinity is. Now you see here. See here. 10 by 0 is 5 by 0 is. So 0 into infinity is 5. 0 into infinity is 10. So infinity 0 is called anything, or you can call indeterministic. We will call indeterministic. So a small example I can say that I have about 100 rupees in my pocket. I gave you some money. How much I have in total? Because indeterministic means what? Indeterministic means I don't know how much this guy is. I don't know how much this guy is, but I have to given you something. How much I have now? How much I have given to you? I given you some money, something. How much I give you? I say only something. But I can tell you one truth. After given to you, I have 40 rupees. How much I given to you? You find out. Now, what is I now? 0 ampere. I is how much? 0 ampere. R is how much now? 1K. 1 into 0 is how much? This is voltage. V is equal to V1 plus V2. V is how much now? 5 volt. V1 is how much? 0. So V2 is? That's the reason. So it is because we cannot apply this formula I is into R2 when switch is off condition. That's the reason we are going to the other way. So that's the reason. So think of it. If you want me to discuss next time, I don't want to do bore or anything. And we stop here at that one. We cannot go beyond that. So we have 3 positions. One is a resistor and a off, a resistor and on, and resistor and a resistor. This is called digital. This is called analog. It's called digital analog. Temporarily, let us not discuss this. Let us put a full stop, or let us defer the analog right now. We move on to the digital now. Then the analog will get later because discussion will be easy for us. Now you see here, second biggest issue is that during the school days everywhere, we have been taught very clearly about arithmetic. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So we have been told to achieve lot everything using only these arithmetic operations. But something we do it without arithmetic also. That is, hey, somebody is there in the room on the right. Somebody is in the room on the right. If nobody is there off the light, and if it become evening 6 o'clock on the light, if it become dark on the light, if it is not dark off the light, we do lot of things which are all not coming under arithmetic. Those are called logical operations. But that is, if two people have come, your mom said, hey, if that person comes then you go to shop, otherwise don't go. That's it. Hey, if the TV comes, don't off it. Something. You have this logical operation you do it daily. But unfortunately we were not given much stress to the area. But there are parallelly some mathematicians, they were working on it. How to achieve these arithmetic operations using logical operations. They had majority 3 logical operations. One is called conjunction and rejection and one more. So they finally we call short term as a and or. That's what we know. Okay, but unfortunately they have not. They call as a mathematicians call as a conjunction and rejection. So I'm not sure. That is also is called not rejection. Or is called something. Conjunction means add. They have something called. So there's a thing. Huh? Something. If you can get it, fine. We will discuss. You see the thing and we will discuss like that. So this is the way we did it. So what happened? There is a mathematically they have proving. Well, even before electronic components were invented, arithmetic was invented, they were trying to do this. They have founded the mechanism using this logical. People thought, how do I implement it? And logic in the thing. That time only, these people of invented the relay. They invented the relay. So what they have done, relay is nothing but a switch with a control. That's all. If a relay is nothing but a switch. Control input and this control input switch. So what they have done here was first time they realized the mathematical thing into the reality. So when I give both A is 0 volt, B is 0 volt, what happens? Both are off. That time I get here 5 volts. Because of I give 5, this is going to be on. I get here 0 volt. So A, B and Y. 0 volt, 0 volt. I get here 5 volt. Then I apply A as 5 volt. I get what thing here? Sorry. 0 volt. Then when I say 5 volt and 0 volt, I get here 0. Then 5 volt and 5 volt I get here. Because when both of them are 5, this is on and this is on, I get here 0 volt. This is going to be off, I get here. So this is the basic building block of AND. Same thing, we have decided instead of connecting these things, I connected them in parallel. I got as a or functionality. Then I remove this, here see A and Y. When A is 0 volt, what happens? This is going to be off. I get here 5 volt. When A is 5 volt, this is going to be I get here 0 volt. I get here. So I realized the 3 functions using these relays. This is the first electrical computer called Mark 1, invented by IBM in 1930s, called first electrical computer. They start using the relays. Using these gates, AND gate and OR gate, they have designed adders, subtractors, and using this they start doing multipliers and dividers. So they have realized they make the mathematical functions using this logical functions. So I do achieve mathematics using arithmetic functions using this logical things. Then they found a big problem. The relay was doing a what? So many mechanical. They were trying to find how to remove wear and tear or more everything. That time only they invented what? First vacuum tube. So they replaced the switch with vacuum tube. Vacuum tube as a switch. Instead of relay as a switch, I use vacuum tube as a switch. Nothing has changed. What is changed was I removed relay and put back the vacuum tube. Then what happened? 115 volts. And the first computer was ENIAC. Okay, in 1940s they invented, 1960s they installed. And that computer, it occupies maybe about much bigger than this one. You switch on the system, what happens? The whole town, the bulb gets dim. One computer you switch on, the whole town, the bulbs become dim because they consume so much of power. And the people have only one computer all over the world. This is called Lawrence Laboratory in US. They only invented this. So they had only one computer all over the world. It was in 1960s. Then only they found out this boring man. I have to replace this with something else. That time only we invented transistor. So they have moved from what computer? Vacuum tube computer to transistor computer. Then only our man, great man of Texas Instruments called Jack Kilby. Jack Kilby invented a mechanism. When I can make one transistor inside the silicon, why can't I make two transistors? Actually, we called this IC. So he put the entire circuit inside the single chip. Then, that's all you call it as a 7408, 7432, 7404. You call this AND. You call this OR. You call this a NOT. Inside is same thing. If you take a NOT gate, this is the same thing is there inside. There is nothing because they suddenly change it from the logic to gate because we start using the transistor. When I use transistor as a switch, I start calling this a gate. They call this a gate. So this is what we know it. These are the things we know it. But here is a trick happen. Now it's a critical time. This is the portion of which we are slowly moving on next. So they were thinking, I as a designer, I could design a circuit using transistors as a switch. This is nothing but a and actually we didn't have, when I was doing school days, when I was doing my 12th, we didn't have the ICs. So using breadboard, we designed our own AND gate and OR gates. That's why we never used, we never heard of my village, we never heard about transistors, ICs, everything. We get in the market, we get only transistors. So we using a transistor, we build the gates and we design a lot of, it was very happy now. See, we do AND gate, OR gate, and something on and something is off, everything. We were very happy because I didn't take the first group. I took a group called vocational. During my schools, +1 and +2, I took a vocational course, so it's about electrical appliances. So we don't have any syllabus called physics, chemistry, biology, everything. We had only mathematics and another subject called vocational, which had about 600 marks. Out of 600, 200 marks theory, 400 marks practical. And out of 200 marks theory, if you know that even today if you see the syllabus vocational, you'll be very surprised. In a physics 12th, you study about electrical, am I right? That syllabus. On that syllabus, if you take about 1/10, take a physics book, you study a chapter called electrical. On the electrical, you take about 1/10. That is what I study for entire 2 years. For how many marks? Actually, we probably get it to BE very easily. We have only about 8 colleges all over Tamil Nadu. How many colleges? 8 colleges. And seats are having only 20 seats per department. Electrical department have how many seats? 20 seats. All over Tamil Nadu, we came out only 160 years in 1984. But don't worry, out of 160, only 80 used to get job. 80 people have been jobless. So the jobless was there always. When I get 1 lakh people, 50 people. So the jobless was always there. There's nothing, the thing. So even the 80, about 40 people have arrears. That is so nothing can be changed. So that is the world is going on the same way. The only thing is now 160 become 1,60,000 people. So things have been changing. So the thing is that we had only this many people. Think of it. How do you get into the BE those days? They have 160. It's very easy. I thought that why do you compete with the great minds? If we scored I scored very low mark. I scored only 974 out of 1,200. Still I will get into BE. Whereas 1,000 and all people scored 1,000 and plus. Very easy. I thought that hey, these kids are not going to consider Tamil and English. I scored very low in Tamil and English. I never studied Tamil. Till the last test, revision test, I used to get only 40 out of 200 in Tamil and about 50 out of 200 in English. But I was very clear, I should get 100 out of 100 in maths. And I should get, see, this is called on target. Don't dissipate your energy somewhere else. Take one goal and attack that. That was the way we do it. So that is the way we do it. So we will get it easy. I'm telling you say that those days we had a lot of time. Today you don't have any time during 12th. Your 11th and 12th are totally spoiled by memorizing and vomiting such a big subject. You're going to achieve something great. Then only when you came to engineering, you said that, hey, today I tell all my friends, hey, even any mark, even today counseling, only 1,06,000 are going to be vacant. Only 85 or 88, 90,000 seats are full. So today you take any BE and get it, no problem, any college, you will do very well. But 11th and 12th is a very critical time. What you learn today, I won't forget. What I did, the transistor circuit, everything today, even I don't forget. Everything was there. The mistake was, you people did a very wonderful years. The 2 years you didn't. I say, the most cruel thing is the 4 years of BE. 4 years of BE is the best part of your life. What you learn, you never forget. Because that is a time you are very peak on grasping anything. That time somebody told you that this is what electronics are doing. So that's the thing. So electronics is, I have learned very clearly. Electronic theory is 0.1%. Remaining 99.9%. Electronics is practical. Only 0.1% is theory, which you study for 4 years. 99 point is a practical, which you have never done anything on that. That's a very, very clear. That's the thing which you are finding.